Sarvalokaika Drikprata Sarvabhagavada Prana Shrimad Bhagavada Prabho Kalidvanto Didaditya Shri Krishna Parivartita Paramanandapadaya Premavarshi Aksharayate Sharvada Sarvasevyaya Shri Krishnaya Namostume Mat Ekabando Mat Sangin Mat Guru Man Mahadana Man Nishtaraka Mat Bhagya Mat Ananta Namostute Ashadu Sadhu Tadayin Atino Chatakara Hana Muncha Kadachin Mam Premna Kantayoshpura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna devotees, welcome you all for this wonderful session. Inner Consciousness Forum Bangalore is organizing this wonderful program, and I am very glad I am able to serve you once again. So we will be reading from 4th canto, chapter number 18. It is titled, chapter titled, Prithu Maharaj Milks the Earth Planet. And we will be looking into verses 9 to 14 today. Before we go into that, actually this particular chapter, the first 11 slokas, it's talking about Mother Earth is advising Prithu Maharaj how to milk her. That means from the cow, you have to milk. How to do that, there is a procedure. So the earth is advising Prithu Maharaj, and then subsequently from slokas 12 to 28, Prithu Maharaj and many others are milking the earth. So basically, we are having two concepts in today's lecture. So the advising of Mother Earth, and then subsequently, Prithu Maharajas doing it. So before we go into this, let us try to understand a small synopsis of who is Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj, you all may be knowing that he has been churned from the thigh of a tyrant called Vena. Vena king was an adharmic, sort of a demonic life he was leading. So all the Brahmanas decided that this has to be stopped, and he was forcibly killed by the Brahmanas. And then subsequently, to establish the Dharma, they all were churning the thigh of Vena, and from that, Prithu Maharaj has appeared. So when the Prithu Maharaj started appearing, always the sages, they used to recite a lot of prayers, hymns, so that they are so happy that the Dharma is going to be established. We have seen in Bhagavatam in many places when Lord Krishna is taking the incarnation, like the avatars. So many prayers by the sages. So similarly, here also, if you see 2 chapters earlier, what we are doing it, the sages were praying in such a way, they were glorifying and they were foreseeing what is going to happen with Prithu Maharaj. So they were glorifying that he is going to be the protector of the citizens, and he is going to be an extraordinary king, and he is going to be equal to a Prajapati, because the Prajapatis means they need to establish, they need to increase the progeny, increase the population, and they have to establish the Dharma and all those things. So here, these Brahmanas were glorifying Prithu Maharaj in such a way that they were able to foresee what are all the things he is going to do that. So in that, they are telling that he is going to milk the earth. What is the meaning of milking the earth is that he is going to he is going to extract, maybe you can say that he is going to extract all the resources, wealth, everything, whatever is the Mother Earth is offering, he is going to take everything. The reason is Vena was completely adharmic person. And also, they were telling, which we are going to see in the coming verses. So all these things were predicted. And they were telling the earth was uneven, like how King Indra is using his bow, thunderbolt, and he is demonstrating and he is breaking all the hard rocks and all. So they were foreseeing that Prithu Maharaj is going to make the earth even, meaning whenever the rain comes, this earth is going to be very useful, and they can store the water and the resources can come. All those things are predicted, and they were telling, they were glorifying the Prithu Maharaj is going to do everything. And subsequent verse, because basically this conversation is taking between Maitreya and Vidura. Maitreya is We all know that Maitreya is keep on explaining various things. And in the previous chapter, when this is explained, Vidura asked so many questions, like how Parikshit Maharaj was asking questions, how Arjuna was asking questions. Similarly, Vidura has also asked a few questions in the earlier chapters. So he was asking, the question is going to be answered in today's verses, but what was the question Vidura inquired from Maitreya? He was asking, my dear Brahmana, since Mother Earth can appear in different shapes, why she has taken the shape of a cow? That is one of the questions. And when Prithu Maharaj is going to milk the air, who has become the calf? Because whenever the cows are giving milk, it shows its affection to its own child, the calf. So he is asking these two questions. And then subsequently, he was asking one more question, which pot they will be using to hold the milk. So Maitreya Muni was asked by Vidura why the Mother Earth is taken the shape of a cow. Who is going to become the calf so that Prithu Maharaj is going to milk her? And what was the milking pot? Then subsequently, he is asking one more question. How did King Prithu level the earth? So these 5 questions we need to remember, which was asked earlier by Vidura. And prior to that, when Prithu is going to appear, all the sages were glorifying that these things are going to happen in the future. So this is the basic understanding for us. And with this understanding, we are going into the same chapter, that is chapter number 18, verses 9 to 14. So I'll be reading the verses 9 to 14. So now 9 and 10 is together. Mataji, if you want, you can display the sloka so that the participants can read the translation and purport. I'll tell them when to read and all. So now we are going to read the verses 9 and 10 together. Vatsam kalpaya me veera yenaham vatsala tava doksha shiramayan kaman anurupam cha dohanam dogdharam cha mahabaho bhutanam bhutabhavana annam ipshitam urjashvat bhagavan vanchate yadi. Somebody wants to read the verses, they can read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Tan anadritya yo avidvan artan arabate swayam tasya vyabhicharanti artha arabdhascha punah punaha.
Mataji, which one you are reading?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt. Prabhuji, the shlokas today are 5 to 8.
No, I was given 9 to 10.
Oh, okay. Okay, Prabhuji, I'll display 9.
Actually,
9 to 14 I was given.
Actually,
Okay,
it was
okay, Prabhuji, I'll display 9. Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, somebody can read 9 to 10. Maybe I'll give a brief about 5 to 8. It's only a continuation. 5 to 8 is basically like I told earlier. Okay, somebody can read the verses now, 9 to 10.
Yes, Hare Krishna. May I read, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, we'll call out the names.
Yes,
Hello,
yes,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shanti Mataji, Asudha Mataji, please call out.
Yes, yes. Hare Krishna. Shanti Mataji, you read the shloka. Naimisha Mataji, the translation. Prabhu, you want us to read the purport also, Prabhuji?
Now for these verses, you can read the translation as well as purport you can read.
Okay. Naimisha Mataji, the translation, and Kripamai Mataji, the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sloka number 9 and 10. Vatsam kalpaya me veera yena ham vatsala tava dokshaye kshiramayan kaman anurupam cha dohanam doktharam cha mahabaho Bhutana Bhuta Bhavana Annamipsidamurjasvat Bhagavan Vanchate Yadi. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Station by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. O great hero, protector of the living entities, if you desire to relieve the living entities by supplying them sufficient grain, and if you desire to nourish them by taking milk from me, you should make arrangements to bring a calf suitable for this purpose, and a pot in which the milk can be kept, as well as the milkman to do the work. Since I will be very much affectionate towards my calf, your desire to take milk from me will be fulfilled. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji. Am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam. These are purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. These are nice instructions for milking a cow. A cow must first have a calf, so that out of affection for the calf, she will voluntarily give sufficient milk. There must also be an expert milkman and suitable pot in which to keep the milk. Just as the cow cannot deliver sufficient milk without being affectionate to her calf, the earth cannot produce sufficient necessities without feeling affection for those who are Krishna conscious. Even though the earth's beings in the shape of a cow may be taken figuratively, the meaning herein is very explicit. Just as a calf can derive milk from a cow, all living entities, including animals, birds, bees, reptiles, and aquatic, can receive their respective foods from their planet Earth, provided that human beings are not asat and adatta, as we have previously discussed. When human society becomes asat or ungodly or devoid of Krishna consciousness, the entire world suffers. If human beings are well behaved, animals will also receive sufficient food and be happy. The ungodly human being, ignorant of his duty to give protection and food to the animals, kills them to compensate for the insufficient production of grains. Thus, no one is satisfied, and that is the cause for the present condition in today's world. Thank you, Prabhuji Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Let us just try to understand from the beginning, because there is a small confusion. I was given 9 to 14, but no issues. But we are going to just continue. If you see in the previous chapter, Prithu Maharaja was very much angry because the kingdom was basically like, it is like a famine situation because of Vena and so many other things were happening. Mother Earth was so not very happy, and she stopped producing. She stopped giving all the resources to the people. And in the previous chapter, Prithu Maharaja was showing very much anger, and he wanted to punish Mother Earth. So this is what the beginning of this chapter, where Maitreya Muni is advising, that means he is explaining to Vidura that Mother Earth is now praying to Prithu Maharaj so that his anger can be pacified. So she started praying, and what Acharyas are writing is, when she started praying, Prithu Maharaj, like a very, very humble student, he is trying to listening what Mother Earth is talking to her. So this is the greatest qualities of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava has to listen. If something is told very good, so it has to be taken care by the Vaishnava. So similarly, Prithu Maharaja was exhibiting like a learned man, because Mother Earth is telling, I am not as great like you, Prithu Maharaj. I am very, very poor. But why I am not able to produce so many things is, so many adharmic things are happening. So adharmic things means, when so many things in the Kali Yuga is the finest example, where we can see in many places there is a scanty rainfall. Why? People are not pious and they are doing a lot of adharmic things. So that is what Mother Earth is completely explaining everything to Prithu Maharaj, stating that because of this, I am unable to produce all the things, and kindly listen to me. This is the reason. If the prosperity has to come for the people, the dharmic thing has to be established. I have so many things to give, but unfortunately, because people are very much fond of enjoying themselves, they are like a selfish natured people. They are not bothered about others. So they are completely exploiting me, and I stopped producing. Because the foolish persons cannot produce, they cannot make anything on their own, and they have to depend completely on me. So due to these adharmic things, I have stopped producing everything. So this is what, and she is telling, and subsequently she is telling, my dear king, I have so many things to give you. Like what it was created by Lord Brahma in the past, they are all used by the non-devotees. So I don't want the non-devotees completely without any spiritual understanding. They don't know what is the value of dharma. So I don't want them to get the benefit of the products, all these things which were created by Lord Brahma. So I am stopping it. So this is a small background, like what Mother Earth was telling. And then subsequently, she is telling what is to be done, how to do all those things. And she is telling Prithu Maharaj that if things are good, I can give everything for you. So with that understanding, these two verses, what 9 and 10, Vatsam Kalpaya Me Veera. And she is telling, she is glorifying Prithu Maharaj now. You are the greatest protector of all the living entities. The greatest protector of all the living entities. You can milk everything. You bring a particular calf. Now she is telling, like in the previous verse, she was telling, I have a lot of resources available. But how you have to milk? When I am showing my affection to my child, my calf, I will produce more milk. Here, Earth is telling, if the atmosphere is conducive, earlier verses she said, because of adharmic activities, because non-godly persons were exploiting me, I stopped giving everything for you. In these two verses, the summary is, she is telling, I am prepared to give everything. I have all the resources. Kindly bring the calf, kindly bring a milkman, kindly bring the pot to hold the milk. So in this verse, three things we are going to understand. Who is going to be the calf, who is going to be the milkman, and which container is going to be the pot. So the acharyas, what the acharyas are commenting is, for milking the cow, what is the requirement? If you see, in many cases, in villages, of course, in modern cities and all, we don't see somebody is milking, right? We go to the supermarket, we buy a bottle, we buy a sachet or something like that, a readily available milk, we are taking it. So very rarely we get an opportunity how the milkman is milking from the cow. So here the acharyas are telling what is the requirement is, the cow should have the calf, because how a mother is showing an affection to the child, similarly, the cow, when it sees her own child, the calf, it produces more milk, because out of action, she voluntarily gives sufficient milk. The cow, if you see, some of the cows will give 5 liters, 7 liters of milk in the morning and another 7 or 8 liters in the evening. Very healthy cows, and both the cow and the calf, they are residing, like they are staying in the same herd or whatever it is, and it produces so much of milk. And then subsequently, who will milk the cow? Somebody has to milk the cow, right? Cowherd men, cowherd people, we are calling it as cowherd. They are all very expert, and they go and milk from the cow. But in modern days, what is happening is they put a big machine, it will suck. So if you leave 1 or 2 minutes extra, it will start sucking the blood also. So they need to be very, very careful in sucking the milk, because they have so many milks in the milk factory and all. You go and see in the milk farm, you go and see so many cows are there. So they will be putting one machine and it will be keep sucking the milk. But here the acharya is telling, who will milk the cow? That man should be an expert. So that person, the calf is to be there, and who is going to be an expert in milking? Those guys, when they are milking, they will leave little milk so that the calf can come and suck the balanced milk. So the loving affection is shared between the cow and the calf. So you have to hold the milk. So you need to have a pot, right? So suitable pot. So all these things, what is our understanding? Because the cow cannot give sufficient milk by showing the affection to her calf. The earth cannot give sufficient necessities without feeling affection that those who are Krishna conscious. So when the human society is becoming asat, ungodly, or devoid of Krishna consciousness, they are not at all consciousness of the existence, supreme existence, the world is suffering. We can see in many countries where there is no rainfall, so many things are happening because the ungodly human being, they are ignorant of their duty. They don't want to give protection to the food. They don't want to give protection to their citizen. They don't want to give protection to the animals. They kill, they do whatever they want because they are behaving ungodly. And such countries, they are having so much of famine. I'll share one real incident. Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. Maybe some of you might have, we may not have seen him because he left very early. Maybe very old persons, maybe they might be knowing him. This Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj is an African American. He is known as Krishna Pada, like how we are calling Srila Prabhupada. So he is known as Krishna Pada. So he left at the age of 55 and he's a very dynamic preacher. And he is having a strong belief with Lord Krishna. So once there was a great famine in Nigeria. He is an African American. So he used to travel to a lot of the African countries. And that time Brahmananda Swami is the direct disciple of Srila Prabhupada. That Brahmananda Swami has invited Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj come to Nigeria. So when Maharaj went there, it is like a desert. It is like a famine. So he is having such a strong faith. And he says, because people do not have any God consciousness, they do not have any Krishna consciousness. That's the reason there is no rain in this country. Then some of them started challenging. He said, okay, if you can chant Hare Krishna mantra, do you think rain will come? So Maharaj took it as an open challenge. He said, yes, if I do the chanting, if I do the Kirtan, Hare Krishna Mahamantra Kirtan, and end of that program, I'll guarantee you Krishna will give rain to this country. So it has happened. They arranged a big pandal and Maharaj was singing and Maharaj was doing Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting for more than 2-3 hours. And you won't believe there was no rain in the country for more than 2 years. And when Maharaj was finishing the Kirtan, it was pouring like anything. The rain was pouring like anything. And this is one of the reasons they are telling in African countries, Krishna consciousness has grown so rapidly. You see in African countries, many of the African countries, we have good temples, very good followers, black body devotees are more in our movement. In the sense, though it is a Christian community and so many things are there, but they started having a great faith. So why I am telling this is, when that Asat becomes Sat, Asat Sangha, we are calling it as an Asat Sangha, right? When it becomes a Sat Sangha, even the animals are getting sufficient food. When there is a rain, what happens? You get sufficient food. Everything is there. Nanda Maharaj, that is the reason he wanted to perform. He wanted to glorify by doing this demigod worship. Correct? Then subsequently, Lord Krishna has stopped it. Then Indra Bhagavan was very much happy with Nanda Maharaj offerings and the rain was pouring and the dam, all this dam of Nanda Maharaj, like Nanda Maharaj is sort of a semi-ruler, a mini ruler. So Nandagam, everything was flourishing with resources and it was so, the reason being, it was completely a God consciousness. So that is what the Acharyas are commenting for this particular verse. If we become a Sat, that means a healthy, conscious, God conscious place, then everything will be flourishing. Our life also flourishes, the community also flourishes. So with this understanding, we'll be going into the next verse, verse number 11. Samam cha gurumam rajan devavristam yatapayah aparthav api badram te upavarteta me vibho. I'll just tell you 1 minute. Yeah, you can read a translation and purport. Somebody can read.
Hare Krishna, Shobha Mataji, you read the translation, Barnali Mataji, the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. My dear King, may I inform you that you have to make the entire surface of the global level. This will help me even when the rainy season has ceased. Rainfall comes by the mercy of King Indra. Rainfall will remain on the surface of the globe, always keeping the earth moisture, and thus it will be auspicious for all kinds of production. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. King Indra of the heavenly planets is in charge of throwing thunderbolts of giving rainfall. Generally, thunderbolts are thrown on the tops of hills in order to break them to pieces. As these pieces are spread asunder and in due course of time, the surface of the globe gradually becomes fit for agriculture. Level land is especially conducive to production of grain. Thus the planet Earth requested Maharaja Prithu to level the surface of the earth, breaking up the high land and mountains. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So basically, Mother Earth is keep continuing telling advices to Prithu Maharaj. So here, the summary of the verse is, she is telling, Mother Earth is telling, make me a level. Now, the earth is with a lot of ups and downs. So Mother Earth is telling, kindly make level, samam cha kuru. Make it very equally level playing. Level playing means, why we need to make the level is, aparthu. Aparthu means even during the rainy seasons, the water gets stored. This is what the modern technology, rain harvesting procedure in many states, the government is advising, right? What is happening is they wanted to store the rainwater somewhere. So here, Mother Earth is telling, you have to make the earth even feel, because it is completely ups and downs. It is like a hill. When the rainwater comes, it completely goes down and it goes and mixes with the seawater. So there is no use in that. So she is telling, Prithu Maharaj, kindly make a flat surface so that when the rain comes, these waters are stored and I can continuously give you all the resources what is required. So that is what Prabhupada is writing in the purport. Level land is conducive for production of grain. The modern technology which people are doing is spoken by Mother Earth to Prithu Maharaj in Satya Yuga. So many years earlier, this technology was given to Prithu Maharaj, because Prithu Maharaj is one of the best rulers, dharmic rulers, which we have seen in the Shastra, and he is getting advices from everybody. He listens the advices. So Mother Earth here is telling, make me flat so that whenever rain comes, the waters get stored. So I can completely, sufficiently, continuously, I can produce the grains. So this is what this sloka says, and with that understanding, we'll be going into verse number 12. इति प्रियं हितं वाक्यं भुव आदाय भूपतिः वत्सं कृत्वा मनुं पानौ अदुहत् सकल ओषधीः. Somebody can read the translation.
Hare Krishna, Meenakshi Mataji, you read the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, translation by Srila Prabhupada. After hearing the auspicious and pleasing words of the planet Earth, the king accepted them. He then transformed the Swayambhava Manu into a cow and milked all the herbs and grains from the earth in the form of a cow, keeping them in his cupped hands. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So, what is the understanding from this sloka is, before Prithu Maharaj, there is no proper arrangements. The rulers, we have not seen anything mentioned in the Bhagavatam, because he is from Satya Yuga, right? So before Prithu Maharaj, even for example, just to understand immediately, Vena. So there was no proper arrangement how the resources can be taken from Mother Earth. Mother Earth is producing so many resources, and through this we are understanding Prithu Maharaj is organizing so many things for the inhabitants. Like he is making the city planning, and in the subsequent verses and all, we will say how he is making like a typical town planner. Like in modern history, if you see some of the modern countries, developed countries, how they have very systematically, they have planning and all. So Prithu Maharaj has made so many plans, all the essential items, how the person has to live, how the inhabitants has to live, what the inhabitants has to get. So everything he is planning in such a way the prosperity flourishes during Prithu Maharaj. So this particular verse, the summary, what we can understand is Swayambhuva Manu is becoming a calf and Prithu is milking the earth. So Prithu is going to keep Swayambhuva as the calf and he is going to milk the earth. So Prithu is a milkman that he is going to take. So what is the analogy? How we are going to understand this is, here the milk is the plant, the calf is Swayambhuva, the pot is the hands of Prithu. In the translation you can see cupped hands, right? First verse itself we understood that what are the things we need. We need a cow, we need a calf, we need a herd, like a cow herd man to milk the cow, and then subsequently a pot to hold the milk, right? So here the milkman is Prithu, and the milk is plant, and the calf is Swayambhuva Manu, and the pot is the hand. How to understand the significance of Swayambhuva being the calf? We all may be having some, like maybe a doubt. What is that Swayambhuva? They are telling that he is a calf, and how to understand this analogy and all. That's what we said earlier in the previous verse. Earth was very much disappointed with adharmic things are happening, and that's what she stopped producing. Then because the king was angered, she started trying to pacify the king, and she said the reason, she told the reasons. So if you see, the adharma has been established, like in the sense people are not following properly. So Swayambhuva, what is the greatness of Swayambhuva means when Lord Brahmadev was creating the mankind to develop the population. We all know that in that chapter, initially, he was creating Narada Muni, then subsequently 4 Kumaras. Both of them refused to support Brahmadeva in expanding the population in this particular Prabanja. In this particular universe, they don't want to support Brahmadev. So Brahmadev was very much like disappointed because he is an empowered incarnation. Satya Avesha Avatara of Lord Krishna. His primary responsibility is to increase the population. When he is trying to do that, both this Narada and Sanat Kumara refused, and then subsequently Swayambhuva Manu was created. So Swayambhuva agreed to the mission of Brahmadeva. So Brahmadeva was very much pleased. So Swayambhuva becomes very dear to Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu. We all know that. With his supernatural capacity, Brahmadev has created 2 forms from his own body. One is a male body and another one is a female body. Prabhupada is writing in the purport in those verses, like how the Swayambhuva was coming. So out of the 2 forms, one form was having a mustache, like how a man looks like the features. Then other form was exhibiting the features of a woman. So that is, one is Swayambhuva and another one is Satarupa. So they started producing so many things. And that time, Brahmadev was given a very, very specific instruction that when you are establishing, when you are increasing the population, when you are producing the children as per the desire of me, that means as per the desire of the Brahmadev, not only you are increasing the population, but you need to ensure the dharmic principles, dharmic things are established along with the population. So Swayambhuva, being an obedient son of Brahmadev, he has accepted for everything, and Brahmadev was praising. So it is completely the mood of, what is the mood of Brahmadev here has been completely taken, obeyed by Manu, Swayambhuva Manu, and he was so much of obedient, and the task assigned by Brahma, he has completely taken it. He wanted to protect all the living beings through devotional service. That is a very, very important thing which has to be done. So here, if you see, Prithu Maharaja wanted to establish a dharmic civilized culture in his kingdom. For that, he wanted to give how a milk is going to produce the Brahmanas. Correct? When we are taking the milk, why Krishna, the Govinda, is very much attached to the good qualities like a Brahmanas and the cow, and he wanted to protect. So similarly, this milk in the form of a liquid form, like a great rishis and munis, they live only through the milk so that their intelligence is growing up and they are becoming a great followers of the Vedic scriptures. Even Sukadeva Goswami, if you read, he won't be standing more than few seconds in front of a house and he will be taking whatever milk comes and he drinks that milk. So similarly, all the sadhus, all the rishis, they become so great, they become so efficient, so intelligent. The Brahmanas means what? What is the meaning of Brahmana? Not that you are wearing a sacred thread and all. The Brahmana means they are understanding the scriptures. They value the scriptures and they tell this to the people so that the dharmic culture is established. So they are all called Sanatanist, followers of the Vedic principles. So like that, here, this particular Swayambhuva Manu who was produced for establishing dharma and increasing the population, he was brought as the calf because he will be very, very affectionate to Mother Earth to produce all the grains, herbs, or whatever you want, so that the dharmic things can be established very, very soon. The calf is not only looking beautiful, but also it is very, very affectionate and it gives satisfaction to the cow. So if Swayambhuva stands as a calf in front of the cow, Mother Earth here. So why it is compared to the cow? The shape is, don't think Mother Earth shape is like a cow with 4 legs and all. No, it is a sort of an analogy the acharyas are writing, which Vidura was asking, right? How a cow gives milk for the good of the citizens. Similarly, the Mother Earth is also giving all the things which are very much nutritious, very much healthy, so that the human society can completely take everything and nourishable things they can do. The cow means a female, correct? It produces the milk. Here, the calf is our Swayambhuva Munu, and Prithu Maharaj is like a milkman. He is going to completely take all the grains which the Mother Earth is going to give with complete love and affection. It is going to give. But if you see in modern days, people are not at all bothered about the importance. Here, the cow, the cow in the Shastras, it is mentioned as a female, right? Cow is a female and it produces so many things and for the good of the people. But unfortunately, in the modern culture and all, people are not at all interested to produce female child. When at the womb, that is what the government has now stopped scanning and see that what is the form of the child in the womb and all. If it is a girl child, they used to completely remove the photos. They abort the photos about. That the government has stopped it now. So many things are happening in villages. When it is a girl child, they used to kill. They don't know the importance of when by going through the Shastra, why it is mentioned as a mother. That means producing so many things. Like that, the girl child, the woman has to be respected in the society. That is how it has to be given. So here, the loving affection is shown by way of keeping Swayambhuva as the calf, so that the affection of the cow is more and the production of the milk. Here, the production of so many grains and herbs are going to be more. But in modern days, people are cheating the cow itself. If it is a male calf, the male calf will be killed. That means they don't produce, they don't give a nutritious food for the male calf. They wanted to kill that and they will make a mannequin. You know what is the meaning of a mannequin, right? They used to make like a small doll, a male calf. They put all the straw and the exterior skin, that outer skin will be the calf, male calf's skin, and the inside they will put the straw and they will make like a mannequin and it will stand in front of the cow. So the cow is getting cheated as if it is showing, as if it is seeing the actual calf in front of her. But unfortunately, it is a dead body. The body is completely replaced with the straw and it looks like a doll in front of the cow. So this is the modern day culture, how people are cheating others to extract something. Here, It is not like that. Prithu Maharaj wanted to completely give everything nutritious thing to the inhabitants of his kingdom, and Swayambhuva, being in charge for establishing dharma, he has been placed as a calf in front of that. So that is what we have to understand. Now we are going into verse number 13. Tata pare cha sharvatra, tata apare cha sharvatra, sharam adate buddha, tato anye cha yata kamam, duduhu prutu bhavitam. Only translation you can read, Mataji. Purport you will read afterwards.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Suma Mataji, read the translation.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhupada Dandavat. Translation with Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Others who were as intelligent as King Prithu also took the essence out of the earthly planet. Indeed, everyone took this opportunity to follow in the footsteps of King Prithu and get whatever he desired from the planet Earth. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Correct. Thank you, Mataji. So the summary of the verse is intelligence persons also following Prithu Maharaj, and they were also milking the earth. So here, like I told earlier, there was no such setup earlier, and Prithu Maharaja is now establishing the norms. So he is making the norms how to take the nutrient, herbal, whatever is available from the earth by following the regulative principles, not regulative principles, by following the Vedic injunctions, and how he is milking the cow. We have seen that in this summary of this verse, it says, subsequently, intelligent persons were also following the same thing. So this verse is, if you go back, the second verse of the same chapter, it says, Sanyajipibo manyam niboto shravitam chame. What it says is, when Prithu Maharaj was showing very much anger, Mother Earth is trying to pacify. And immediately Prithu Maharaj was very, very patiently hearing what Mother Earth is telling. And she is telling, kindly turn your attention to me, my Lord. Prithu Maharaj, I am going to give you how I can be taken, how I can be producing more. How he was listening, the same thing here, Prithu Maharaj followers were also completely, they were in line with what Prithu Maharaj has established. So he has accepted the essence, the words of the earth, and he got the result. He was waiting. The Mother Earth was telling, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. And Prithu Maharaj systematically followed everything. He has never shown any arrogance. Oh, what you know? I know everything. I have a lot of Brahmanas with me. I have studied the Vedic culture. I have know the Vedas. I will do whatever I want. He never exhibited such quality. He was simply following. So this is the principle of intelligent people who take the words of any other person who gives intelligence, any other time, whatever time it is. If the opponent is giving you a sensible information, we have to accept it. What is happening is through the false proud, through the ahankar, sometimes what is happening is we are getting to an egoistic state and we don't listen to others. But here, despite Vena, subsequently Prithu Maharaj is coming, following the dharmic instruction of all the Brahmanas. And here, he is completely taking the instruction from Mother Earth. And all these things from the 15th verse, we are going to see. Prithu Bhavitam. Prithu Bhavitam means the earth is inspired by Prithu. When Prithu started asking, he was very patiently listening whatever it says. And she becomes so like very much pleased. And she has decided that she will be completely devoted to Prithu. Who the Mother Earth is going to completely devoted to Prithu, and she is going to produce so many things. That is what we are going to understand. Now somebody can read the purport now.
Hare Krishna, Krishnamurti Prabhu, you read the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
I will read 50% of this purport, Prabhuji. Please interest someone to continue. The planet Earth is also called purport by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. The planet Earth is also called Vasundhara. The word Vasu means wealth, and Dhara means one who holds all treasures within the earth fulfill the necessities required for human beings. And all living entities can be taken out of the earth by the proper means, as suggested by the planet Earth and accepted and initiated by King Prithu. Whatever is taken from the earth, either from the mines, from the surface of the globe, or from the atmosphere, should always be considered the property of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and should be used for yajna, Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu. As soon as the process of yajna is stopped, the earth will, without all productions, vegetables, trees, plants, fruits, flowers, and other agricultural products and minerals. They are confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. The process of yajna was instituted from the beginning of creation. By the regular performance of yajna, the equal distribution of wealth and the restriction of sense gratification, the entire world will be made peaceful. And Mataji, it is scroll a little bit. The entire world will be made peaceful and prosperous. As already mentioned, in this age of Kali, the simple performance of Sankirtana Yajna, the holding of festivals as initiated by the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, should be introduced in every town and village. Intelligent men should encourage the performance of Sankirtana Yajna by their personal behavior. This means that they should follow the process of austerity by restricting themselves from illicit sex life, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. If the intelligent men or the Brahmanas of the society would follow the rules and regulations, certainly the entire face of this present world, which is in the chaotic condition, would change and people would be happy and prosperous. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavas Pramnath Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, like what we discussed in this particular purport, Srila Prabhupada and other acharyas are also commenting. Vasundhara. Vasundhara means we know that we have so much of sufficient materials available, resources available in Mother Earth. But unfortunately, if people are not practicing it properly, because we are all indebted for 5 people. 5 people in our life, we are indebted. So one is the Devatas. Reason being, they are giving you so many things. Rain God is giving something, oxygen is given by Vayu Bhagavan. So many things in our day-to-day life is given by the demigods, and we do not produce anything. So here, that is what it's showing, the indebtedness. How you will repay the debt is by performing the yajna. So which have been followed by so many people. That's what it says. After Prithu Maharaj, so many people are following so that Mother Earth is happy and she is keep on giving everything. But in the modern days, in this Kali Yuga, it is not at all possible for us to perform the yajna. That is what Acharya, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was telling, Kalau Nashtav, only the chanting of the holy name. That is important in this yajna. It is more than an yajna. The yajnapati, Krishna is very much happy when you are chanting his holy name. That is what it is mentioned here. Unless you perform, unless you please the Supreme Lord, nothing is going to be given back and we will be end up in famine. Like Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, I gave an example. So similarly, it is the responsibility that Sanatana Dharma has to be established. God consciousness has to be established. People should do at least whatever is possible. We as the members of ISKCON, we have to, wherever we are giving preaching, wherever we are giving classes, we need to bring all these points. You people are taking so many things for free of cost. The demigods are supplying. How do you thank them? Just to chant one round every day. They will be pleased. You don't have to pay this much money for consuming oxygen every day. We all know that during COVID, oxygen cylinder was sold for so many thousands. But now we are just simply, we are inhaling the oxygen without paying a single pi to the Supreme Lord. So how we are going to repay our debt is by engaging ourselves in the devotional service. When we are engaging in the devotional service, the Supreme Lord is pleased and he is making our life happy. Chant and be happy. Why Prabhupada is telling is, this is the meaning of that. You do some devotional service, the Supreme Lord is pleased and he makes you happy. You are getting water sufficiently, you are getting air sufficiently, you are getting sunlight as and when it is required. No hot summer, no heavy rain, everything is balanced and you are leading the life peacefully and you are performing the devotional service. So that is what here Mother Earth was very much pleased, and subsequent followers of Prithu Maharaj, they were also doing the same thing. So 14th verse, last verse for the day. Rishayo duduhu devim indriyesha ata shatatama shattama vatsam brihashpatim krutva payaschanto mayam suchi. Rishayo duduhu devim indriyeshva ata shatama vatsam brihashpatim krutva payaschanto mayam suchi. Only translation you read, purport we will read later.
Hare Krishna. Archana Shri Radha Mataji, read the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. All the great sages transformed Brihaspati into a calf and making the senses into a pot. They milked all kinds of Vedic knowledge to purify words, mind, and hearing. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So, like in the previous verse, Mother Earth was telling, right? Subsequently, many people started following what Prithu Maharaj was doing it. So, here we can see Brihaspati is becoming a calf for the sages. So, everybody needs something, right? As an inhabitant, they need a grain, a rice, they need something like that, they need, which Mother Earth is producing, and Prithu Maharaj was able to take that. Then now come to the stage of a sages, because you need to become a Brahmana, correct? Everybody's intention is you need to gain the qualities of a Brahmana. So here, Brihaspati is becoming a calf for sages. So sages has to get something. It is available for them, but something has to be taken and it has to be shown to them and it has to be nurtured to them, nourished to them. So in this verse, Brihaspati is becoming. Who is a Brihaspati? Brihaspati is a sort of a spiritual master for Devas. Deva Guru, he is known as Deva Guru. For all the demigods, he is the spiritual master. Reason is, he is the source of a Vedic knowledge. He is a very, very revered, very prominent sage and the spiritual master, particularly Indradev, spiritual master for Indradev. Indradev, spiritual master means Indra is Devas Deva, correct? So he is chief of all the Devas. So the chief of all the Devas is having, like how we are talking in our moment, how Srila Prabhupada is considered as the founder Acharya, and subsequently so many initiated spiritual masters were there, and we as the followers of those spiritual masters or the disciples of those spiritual masters, we give so much of respect to Srila Prabhupada as the founder Acharya of our movement. So similarly here, Indradev, spiritual master is Brihaspati. So he is kept in a top place. In Shrimad Bhagavatam also, we have seen in so many verses, these sages are taking knowledge from Brihaspati. In so many incidents, we have seen Brihaspati is participating, he is developing, he is correcting the mistakes, and so many things are happening. So without the mercy of the spiritual master, any benediction, the mercy of Krishna cannot reach a disciple. So in that way, Brihaspati is a great spiritual master. In Shrimad Bhagavatam, it says spiritual master is always an Acharya. Acharya means a spiritual master is considered equal to Krishna, but he is not having the same pastimes qualities of Krishna. He cannot be considered as Krishna, but the teachings of Krishna, instructions of Krishna are taken and given by such spiritual masters. So an Acharya is equivalent to Lord Krishna. So the Acharya is Acharyam Mam Vijaniyan. This particular verse in the 11th canto, it says, Acharyam Mam Vijaniyan. Krishna says, everybody has to respect the spiritual master and he has to be accepted as Lord himself. Acharyam Mam Vijaniyan. Nava Manyate Karshit. At any point of time, you should not disrespect a spiritual master just by looking at his color, looking at his behavior, looking at his, bodily conditions and all. We should not disrespect, we should not treat him as an ordinary person. He is equivalent to the Supreme Lord in giving us the instruction. Nava manye karshit. Na martya buddhya suyetu. Na martya buddhya suyetu. He is not an ordinary person. Never ever think that spiritual masters are ordinary people. Sometimes what happens in English, we used to say, right, familiarity breeds contempt. By simply looking at a person every day, you become so close, or you become taken for granted. Oh, this man I know, I am seeing him every day. Nothing is problem. I can behave in whatever way I want. That is what it says. As far as an acharya is concerned, spiritual master is concerned, he should not be, that familiarity should not, like, it should not breed the contempt. So we need to always respect an acharya. Brihaspati was in such a great position, and he is the spiritual master of Indradev. So this person, this Brihaspati, the spiritual master, is kept as the calf. Why? Because Agada Dishanam Dvicham. He is a perfect Brahmana and is having an unintelligent, like unlimited intelligence. So by keeping the calf, the sages are going to get the benefit. Like all the scriptural injunctions will be transcribed and they will be following it. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling, right? Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upatekshandi denyanam jnaninas tattva darshanaga. The self-realized people, Tadvidi, jnaninas tattva darshanaga. They have learned the truth. So we are approaching such a spiritual master. So by keeping Brihaspati, he is going to milk, he is going to get, what is it he is going to get? He is going to get the Vedas, the hymns. So Brihaspati is now transformed as a calf to receive these Vedic injunctions for the benefit of sages. Now somebody can read the purport for 14. Purport for 14.
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. Brihaspati is the priest of the heavenly planets. Vedic knowledge was received in logical order by the great sages through Brihaspati for the benefit of human society. Not only on this planet, but throughout the universes, in other words, Vedic knowledge is considered one of the necessities for human society. If human society remains satisfied simply by taking grains from the planet Earth, as well as other necessities for maintaining the body, society will not be sufficiently prosperous. Humanity must have food for the mind and ear as well as for the purpose of vibration. As far as the transcendental vibrations are concerned, the essence of all Vedic knowledge is the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, in Kali Yuga. If this Vedic Maha Mantra is chanted regularly and heard regularly by the devotional process of Shravanam Kirtanam, it will purify all societies and thus humanity will be happy both materially and spiritually. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, like we earlier saw that there is a milkman and they have to take a milk and somebody should be the calf and they need to have a pot, right? For this particular verse, what is our understanding is who is the milkman is the sages. They are going to milk the cow. And what they are going to milk? They are going to milk the Vedic verses by keeping Brihaspati as the calf. And where they are going to retain this milk, they need to have a pot, right? The senses are their pot. When you understand the Vedic verses and you hold it in your senses, because the senses are only getting agitated at various times, right? So we lose control of our mind and we are getting diverted through our spiritual activities. So that's the reason it is telling through Brihaspati, by keeping the calf, the sages are understanding the Vedic verses and they are retaining it in their senses. So subsequent verses, so many verses are going to come, like how the Devatas, like a milkman, they are going to extract Soma. And who is the calf? Indradev is going to be the calf. And the golden pot they are going to keep, because the Somarasa, when they were drinking Somarasa and all, they keeping it in the golden pot. So subsequent verses, we will be trying to understand so many things about so many milkmen, Daityas, how Prahlad Maharaj was made as the calf so that the liquor can be given to the Daityas and it was kept in an iron pot. Similarly, Gandharvas, Pitrus, so many things is going to come in the subsequent verses. So the milking analogy, what we are going to understand from these 4-5 verses is the milking analogy is how we are going to take the good for the inhabitants, for the sages, and so many other things which are going to come. Here in the last verse, Brihaspati was used as a milkman so that the senses are getting purified. That is one of the important things for progressing in the spiritual knowledge, and also the purification. By learning the Vedic knowledge, you need to get purified, right? So that purification is only when the senses are purified. So that is the reason this milking, the last verse is milking for the benefit of the sages, is for the purification of our senses. So why it is considered the cow? Why we are telling it as cow? Why we could have called it in a different thing? We would have called as a parrot. We could have called as an elephant, or so many things. Is the cow is considered as a very, very revered Gau Mata. We are considering it as a mother, like how a mother is respected by any type of people. So similarly, the mother cow is a sort of, she converts her own blood into milk for the benefit of others, right? So in that way, so much of veneration is given for the cow, and also it is by nurturing, the symbolism of nurturance. When she produces the milk, it nurtures. So many things are happening. Your life is getting sustained. You are getting a healthy body. You are getting a healthy intelligence. You are being part of the divine creation. Your feelings are divinity is increases. So many things are happening because of milk. That is what Prabhupada used to say, that we need to drink milk every day without fail, so that in the brain, some intelligent cells are activated regularly by drinking the milk. But unfortunately, in modern times, maybe in Ayurvedic or in allopathy, doctors are telling don't take milk, because the milk is completely adulterated milk. We are getting it in the market. But a pure cow milk, if you take, is Krishna. Prabhupada is telling your intelligence. Why? Because Krishna likes Brahmanas and Krishna likes completely the cows. So even we have seen, right, in the Dhyana Sloka, how Arjuna was made as a calf so that we were all getting the milk of Bhagavad Gita. Sarvo Panishato Gavo Dokta Gopala Nandanaka Partho Vatso Sudhir Bhokta Duktam Gitamritam Mahat. So Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Gita Upanishad is like a cow. And the Lord, as a famous cowherd boy, he was milking this cow by keeping Arjuna as the calf. Sarvopanishado. So all the Upanishad essences is represented by a cow. It is giving a very nutritious information, nutritious thing, how to lead a peaceful life. Partho Vatso. Partho Vatso means Arjuna was kept as a calf. So that is what these scriptures are talking about, how you have to take the essence of so many things, whether you call it as a scriptures or you take it as a divine messages, or you wanted to take it from the earth. So many things are happening because of all these things. So how we will be taking all these things is only through proper satsang. Only with the satsang, only through the sadhu sang, the community can flourish. Such good informations, such divine information can be heard from everybody. Because Krishna is telling, simply by hearing, by using your ear, nothing is going to happen. Unless you properly follow. Sthane sthita sruti gatam tanuvan manobi. Shruti gatam means you have to hear properly. And you have to hear properly from the parampara system, from the disciplic succession. You have to hear. And you have to follow properly what they are telling. So the sadhu sangha, through the sadhu sangha, that sat is created. Sat means spiritual, not asat. The demonic thing is not at all given. Satsanga mukta dusanka. Dusanka means we are in the material world. In this Baudika, in this material world, what is happening is it is full of Maya, full of duplicity. So we are cheating ourselves and we are cheating others. Only through the satsanga, we can try to understand all those things, good things, how Prithu Maharaj is trying to milk. Similarly, we also can milk the essence of the Vedic scriptures by getting it from the milkman, like the spiritual masters, or from the spiritual literatures. And so many things are here for us to understand. So we need to drink a healthy milk every day, meaning we need to drink healthy instructions Vedic instructions, Vedic injunctions, so that we can purify our existence and we can perfect our life in this lifetime itself. So this is what our understanding in these 4 verses. So with that, we'll be ending our session today. So if you want to have any doubts or you want to add any points, we will wait for some time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful class. Anybody has any question? Naimisha Mataji, Vasudha Mataji. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes.
Brihaspati is an incarnation of the Lord, or how do we understand Brihaspati, Prabhu?
Brihaspati, maybe we can call it as a Satyavesh avatar, like how the Vyasadeva was assigned a specific task. Similarly, Brihaspati actually is formed from a bright light. Some of the scriptures says he is sun god in the sense from the light he came, because it was completely dark, and from his light the knowledge was given. So if we are taking in that sense, he is a Satyavesh, special task given by the Supreme Lord. He is sort of a self-manifested.
Yeah, but he has God's energy to
Yes,
the
yes,
Vedas
yes.
come from the Lord, and if it is he's the
Yes,
one
yes.
giving us Vedas, then he is a literary avatar in one
That's what
sense for the
we said, like
demigods.
he has been a Satyavesh, assigned a specific task assigned for him.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. There are no other questions. Mataji's, Prabhuji's. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, we can end the class.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yes. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo ananta koti Vaishnava Prabhupada ki jai. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki
Krishna,
jai.
thank you very
Pranam
much.
Prabhu, Hare
Krishna Prabhuji,
Krishna.
Dandavad
Thank you
Pranam.
so
Krishna
much.
Prabhuji, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll end the class.
Thank you, Prabhuji.